Everyone, welcome to today's video. I hope you are good. We're going to talk about this potential drop in the market. Are we about to see one? So hi, welcome to the channel. If you are new, subscribe, hit the bell button, like, comment. Now, we're having a bit of a rough day in the stock market. We had one yesterday as well. Bit of reduction in gains. Nasdaq is also coming down in terms of futures, not by much, but it's been very, very dominant. So I want to talk about this in terms of what's happening in terms of the news a little bit, why cryptocurrency has been doing what it's been doing, and most importantly, what to expect if things go back to normal in terms of the Nasdaq. Will that drop prices of the tech stocks? Possibly. So we'll have a little look at a few little things to take into consideration. Obviously, we've had some increases in the element of COVID-19, which is not good. European stocks attempt to regain as focus remains on the global pandemic spread. Problems are people have been getting together in the UK, people have been going to beaches, parties, back to normal essentially. Could be a second wave, so just be careful. Don't get too excited. So just keep an eye on what the stock market has been doing. As you can see here, but a lot of stuff happening. And yesterday was a pretty, the fact that the Nasdaq is still pumping and the S&P is going down, the Dow Jones is going down, there's obviously a recipe for disaster there if things go a little bit sideways for the Nasdaq. But let's talk about what's happening this week. So going on to it, rich kids, let's all get rich in terms of TikTok. This, by the way, let you know, is a contribution article on Forbes. This is basically a paid article or whatever. So these technically are not by the words of Forbes. So if you get excited because Dogecoin is mentioned on Forbes, please don't. This is definitely some sort of like paid shill by the looks of things anyways. So just be careful. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of big influencers on TikTok. We've got millions of subscribers and followers trying to say, oh, buy Dogecoin's going to go to the moon. We're going to pull it to $1. Please be careful. We'll look at Dogecoin in a second, but for my opinion, whoa, just be absolutely careful with Dogecoin because huge supply, not a good recipe in terms of that. Obviously, what will happen with that if the volume does not maintain it? It will just go, it'll just drop like a stone. So big volume coins in the short term, great, make money. But if you buy at the top and that volume starts to disappear a little bit, well, that trapdoor opened and you will end up through it. So be careful. Other news as well. Very, very good news in terms of like what way you look at it. This could be the first big, well, it is the first cryptocurrency company to actually go public on the stock exchange. This is interesting. Could be a catalyst to more companies doing it, but it depends. It needs authorized by the SEC, obviously. Direct listings, all kinds of stuff, IPOs, different world for cryptocurrency. This going on to that phase. So let's just wait and see, watch and shoot, basically. I'd be mindful of news and rumors on this that, Coinbase listings, Coinbase coins might do very, very well. Certainly the lower cap, altcoins. So yeah, there's definitely interest. But for me, it might not happen. So we'll see what happens. But let's do some analysis. Let's do some talking about cryptocurrency. First things first, the market is coming down quite, big in terms of altcoins. I've also taken profits on my Cardano, 115%. Yesterday I did a video on VeChain that I took profits, currently up a nice little chunk. If I was to rebuy back, I will get more tokens. Obviously, I got a lot of people going, oh, you're an idiot, you shouldn't have done that. Well, I don't care. In terms of this, right, just to give you a bit of a brief analysis of what I'm looking at, this green band, I call it the trampoline. This, every time we've went into this, we've pissed off back out of it very, very quickly. We're currently at daily levels, looking likely to go down. We rejected the 9.5 psychological level. So for me, Bitcoin, still bearish, is still a load of lows, lower highs, sorry, goodness me, but there's also lows, don't forget those. So just be mindful of this. In my opinion, I think we are going to be due for a move down very, very soon. With the Nasdaq, which I will come on to in a bit, I think if tech stocks do fall, it's going to bring the S&P down massively. The S&P is definitely floating on thin air right now. Bitcoin is also tied to that very, very closely, so just be careful. In other news though, Ethereum is the one that is, interested. Looks like we've got another hammer coming, and I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Oh. There we go. Hammer. Get down. So another rejection of that key level. This one actually formed a little bit of a high, but not so much. This is obviously a double top region. We're coming back down. Interesting to see what does happen here. I think this is going to melt down as well, down to these levels and possibly down to 210. So if you are looking at Ethereum and looking at investments, I would wait out. Personally, I would wait down into these levels, which is what I'm waiting on, just to give you a little bit of a heads up. So DGI, I've not looked at this for a while, but in terms of the fib, this is where we are. We went right back up to the 786. We're currently on support levels of the 618 right now. This is a future, so this is live. In terms of the SPX, similar sort of element, but just a level higher. Again, as I say, it is on thin air. This could break resistance, support, and fall down. If it does, that would be very, very bearish for Bitcoin. Just be careful. But the Nasdaq is what I want to focus on. This is fucking outstanding in a weird kind of wonderful way. How is this still going up? This is absolutely parabolic. Right, let's just explain it. The Nasdaq is basically technology, right? What has been going on at home is people have been doing stuff on Zoom. Tesla's been going well. Twitter, Facebook in a bit wishy-washy due to advertising claims. But a lot of the tech stocks have been parabolic. Absolutely turbo titties, right? Fucking off the scale. That is interesting. However, as things go back to normality, people going to work, less people are going to be investing and looking at tech stocks. However, what does that mean for us? With the averages and the Dow Jones and all kinds of stuff like that, with like the SPX and stuff, you're going to find issues where if this does dip, the rest of the market will probably fall with it. Right now, today, it's a bearish day, even for the Nasdaq futures. So Friday is not looking good right now. In my opinion, not looking good. But just be very, very clear. If Bitcoin is still following the SPX and stuff like that, it will drop. It'll drop pretty hard. So we might actually see a below 9K very, very soon. Maybe, we'll see. So it all is hanging on the hopes of market behavior, traditional markets, all kinds of stuff. But my opinion is, if the Nasdaq drops, the S&P will drop. If the S&P does drop, the Dow Jones will drop. That will create fear with Bitcoin, with investment. People buying high, potentially in hype, they will probably sell their bags. That is my opinion. But over the last few weeks, we've had a very, very good run with altcoins, and this is the dominance chart. It's been doing very, very well, as you can see. Well, for me, means it's going down. That means altcoins are flourishing. It means I've made money. Happy days. I've made a good chunk over the last few weeks. I've already mentioned it in my last video of VeChain. I've already said it today. 115% take profits at 1,300 Satoshis. Happy days. I'm winning right now. Zilliqa, I took profits as well at the end of the month, or well, the end of June. So all is good for me. But to understand this, you need to kind of get looking at certain charts and be mindful of what is happening. This is relatively high. It has been high for a while. If we do start coming down, you're going to start seeing altcoins potentially flourishing a little bit. But personally, I don't think it's going to be as clear as that. I think if people are taking profits off altcoins, dominance will go and stabilize essentially for Bitcoin. And we'll see this chart actually coming down, which is a total 2. They're still rallying up quite high. But this could start hitting some roadblocks very, very soon in and around these regions where we are right now, essentially, where there's quite a few of these closures. So be careful of what you're doing in terms of altcoins. We're still, in my opinion, very, very low. I'll remove that. All texties. So we got, there's still going to be a lot of demand in the future. Obviously, do not rule that out. But what I will say is we've got altcoins that have done 300, 400, 500% gains in USD. We've also had 200, 300% rises in, BTC. Don't be foolish by not taking any profit. Trust me on that one. You will get absolutely fucking annihilated in this market if you do not take profits. If you are sitting on an altcoin and you've made 300%, in a week that could be gone. And I don't even joke. It will vanish. VeChain is already showing exactly that element. In terms of VeChain, for me, I'm holding it, right? But I've also taken a bit off the table because I want to keep some Bitcoin to stabilize my portfolio, right? Simple as that. Already from the point of where I sold, which was 207 Satoshis to right now, it is already down 11%. If you had you know, $1,000, you've literally lost $110, right? Ultimately, you've got to remember, take profits, take something out of the game. It makes so much more sense. So, that is today's video done. A bit of analysis, a bit of my thoughts, a bit of my information coming out to you guys. There's some interesting stuff happening in the market, in my opinion. I think, as I say, I think if that Nasdaq does grind down a little bit, it will probably drop the rest of the market, which could be very, very interesting. So just be careful what you're doing right now. In my opinion, the markets are overstretched. Even the altcoin markets, we're at 300% gains. Like, I made 260% gains on VeChain, and not even from the bottom. It was pretty, not the greatest of orders. So that's a telling sign, in my opinion. Also, remember, plumbers are telling you to buy Dogecoin. That is not a good sign neither.